Have you ever loved something so much that you just want to make it happen every day? Me neither. This is a podcast today. Podcast today keeps the doctor away, all that good stuff. We're going to have a little time travel episode. We're going back in time. It's the rewind. I'm sorry, I don't know why I turned this sort of like Rick and Morty kind of sort of dialogue there. It's a time machine episode, guys. We're going back in time. We're doing reruns. We're doing reruns, guys. Do people still like Rick and Morty? I don't know. Or is it because it's cringe now? And here's the thing. I don't actually think... When I watch it now, if I ever put it on, I don't actually think it's like really worse or better in any way. It's sort of like the same level of stuff going on as the first seasons. But then people act like it's really gone downhill. The jokes aren't as good. And there is some episodes where I watch and I go, Jesus. But like for the most part, they'll at least have some decent episodes each season, right? And it just does kind of feel like that thing. After a while, things get cringe. And maybe because of the way people take it, partly of that. Like, this is so irrelevant to what we're doing today, but like, maybe it's the way people take it. Like, when people are, like, in the McDonald's rolling around on the floor for the Szechuan sauce, like, screaming they're a pickle. Like, they take it in a way that makes it kind of lame to, like, all of a sudden. But, like, I remember a period of time, and I don't like Big Bang Theory. I want to make that clear right now. But Big Bang Theory was always just a show people liked enough, and then it became like the cringiest thing. It's like, oh, you like Big Bang Theory? That's the worst humor on planet Earth. Because it got popular, because it went on for too long. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't watch Young Sheldon. But like same with like Friends, a bunch of these freaking shows. But sorry, I was just trying to find the relevance of why I was bringing that up. Anyway, so yeah, I want to kind of go through my Letterboxd, and I want to expose myself. I've not set my stall out and ever pretended that I'm well versed in the movie world, that I've got great taste. My whole thing has been recommending movies that I don't like because I notoriously have bad taste, and therefore by recommending movies that I don't like, there's a good chance that you will. And that's kind of been the whole thing here. We try and give it a review and a rating by the end of the episode. We read out a couple other reviews, some of the most popular ones. We compare what rating I give it to the average rating on Letterboxd, and we look at some other films the director directed, because you get some fun surprises in there a lot of the time. But I've never pretended in that way, and I've also been honest about not seeing a lot of films. But I think it'd be interesting to kind of go through, do a little time travel, and go through the last few years and see what was watching each year, because I lose this a lot. As much as I still agree to this, I really like films, but I do not see a lot each year. And to prove that, and if you listen to yesterday, you already know this, but so far this year, and we're going into April, I have seen one film, and it was Dune Part 2, and I liked it. It was very good. I gave it a 4.5 star. Where it gets bad is if we change the year. Well, it's already bad. Sorry. I don't know if in my head that was impressive. I know. You're impressed. One film so far. But where it gets bad is last year I saw 0. No. One is bad. I should have seen more. And here's the thing. I have this thing where it's like, I only want to watch a film if I think I am going to fucking give it like a 4-star or higher. Like, I don't want to watch something if I think there's even a chance I'll give it like a 3-star even. It's like I want 4 or nothing. Like, I'm too particular with it. It's like, just go. It's genuinely like, the cinema near here, it's like £4. And I don't buy shit when I go there. I take my barcode and I scan, I'm in, I'm out. I get the job done. I'm in a flash, as quick as you can be. The film obviously will take its run time. You can't rush that. But outside of that, I'm in and I'm out, man. As quickly as possible. ASAP Rocky. I'm in and I'm out. I'm in and I'm out. And, it's like, just go. Why not? You got nothing else going on. Why not just go see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? It's not getting great reviews. Sure, you probably think it's like a 2 out of 5 stars or whatever. You'll probably give it like a 5 out of 10, because I prefer a 1 to 10 system, but that's just me. 2 or 5 star system at least. But I never do. And even some other films I think, oh, I might like that. Oh, that might be good. Like, I wanted to see West Side Story. I thought the cinematography looked pretty cool for it. I ain't adverse to seeing the musical. I quite enjoy it. It looked good from the trailers. I was like, yeah, I'll see it. When I was working in the cinema at the time, so I'd catch little clips. I thought, yeah, this looks decent. I was standing in the back going, Oh yeah, I can't remember any of the songs now, but you know that's what I was doing. I was shaking my head, not my hips, because you know it's at work. I gotta be professional. Yeah, but no, but you know the music does what the music does, and never saw it, never went, never bothered, never and that was whilst working in a cinema when the tickets were free, therefore, but I just never went. Because I was like, I don't really want to go to the cinema where I work. I don't want to shit where I eat. I kind of prefer to do it in a place where the people checking the screens aren't also my colleagues, and I don't want to have to make that interaction when I'm not at work. And oh, you can't use that other chains, but the cinema close to me is in the same chain. I just never, you know what I mean? So it's like, unless it's something on the level of Dune, I know I'm gonna like it. Spider-Man: No Way Home, I know I'm gonna like it. I just never go. The only exception is Marvel movies, which is crazy that they are getting like the special card. They're getting the green card, the pass to whatever. Fucking key to the kingdom. That like I won't go watch films I'd probably like more than some of these Marvel films, but I'll go in there because it's like a blood pact. I'm sworn in now. I can't till death do us part. I'm in. There's no getting out of this. There's no break clause. It's like I'm just going through from the partner. And to be fair, there has been some. There has been some. I don't remember which ones. Actually, has there been some? No, I didn't see Ant-Man Quantumania cinemas, which was the first one I hadn't seen in ages, but I was away, to be fair. Very random, but I was working in some cafe in France for like the whole time it was out, which is very random. It was a very random time. But yeah, no, and I couldn't. And like I said, I don't speak French, so that made it quite difficult. I was just washing pots. Anyway, yeah, so I really didn't want to see it anyway, but I probably would have been talked into it. But I think TV shows I've been missing. I've been allowing myself not to put myself through that now. Like, I didn't watch Miss Marvel. I didn't watch She-Hulk. And I know you're noticing a pattern. It's not that. I can't even remember. Echo, I know, also a female-led show, but that's not the reason. I genuinely don't know. Let me Google Marvel TV shows so I can just bring this up. Marvel TV shows. What the hell? I don't even recognize what some of these are. I basically I can tell you the ones I did, which that'll be easier. I saw like One Division, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Falcon, and the others. That one, and then Hawkeye, and then there was another one which came out at the sort of beginning point. And I just realised they're pointless and boring, so I stopped. And they're just not of the same ilk of the show. Oh, Loki, that was it. So yeah, I stopped. But in terms of films, I think I have been watching them all. And yeah, I don't. Like so you got Captain Marvel, you got the Marvels, and you got Miss Marvel. It's like Jesus Christ. And the company itself called Marvel. It's just a bit too much Marvel going on. It's very confusing. But I saw that, thought it was mid. Obviously, Thor: Love and Thunder, fucking hated it. Doctor Strange, thought it was mid. There must have been films that were more recent. The thing is, Marvel used to post like it's fucking YouTube videos. Used to like have out like 3 films a year, and they've actually taken a break now, which is probably for the better. Probably also due to like strikes and shit. But still, there used to be like 3 years. So now I can't even think back to the last one I saw because that actually hasn't been 3 years for once. But yeah, I think like the only Marvel film isn't technically even like an MCU film, although maybe technically it is because it does connect to the MCU. Use like, Deadpool and that. But I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan. Anyway, if we change the decade, the thing I said I was gonna do, about what 8 minutes ago now, but then I got distracted. We'll see that this year I've seen, as you know, 1 film. 2023, I've seen 10 films. Not even 1 a month, because if you don't know, there's 12 months, and that's 10 films. I was out. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Also, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 of those 10 films are superhero films. Not saying that should be a bad thing, but 40% does feel quite high. But if you like them, you like them. And to be honest, they weren't. I don't think it's an awful ratio. For as much as people are saying superhero films are like destroyed and dead and in the mud, half of them I think were good. I mean, I saw Wonka, which I ended up giving like a 3-star. Didn't see it in pictures or cinemas or whatever. I saw that. streamed. Let's say, the Marvels, did see that in the pictures. Was just sort of bored. I wasn't offended by how bad it was the way I was in Love and Thunder, but I gave that a 2-star. One of these films is a documentary, the Beckham documentary, which was like a 4-part, so I feel like I should count that as a 4 film, but no. It's just one, so I saw the Beckham documentary, gave that a 4.5 star, because I don't really watch documentaries and I enjoyed it. 4.5 is probably high, because I think like maybe the third episode I was less into. I really liked when he was in England and at United. Those were the ones that interested me most. And it was interesting to see go to America and France. I was probably least interested when he was at Spain. But yeah, because I don't watch many documentaries, I gave it extra sort of ratings because I watched all 4 parts, you know what I mean? I saw Saltburn, again, not in cinemas. I'm thankful I didn't. Because I'm happy I didn't have to share that experience with anyone else, even strangers. I saw Oppenheimer. I did see that in cinemas. Gave that a 3.5 star, which I know feels low. That's half a star higher than Wonka. But it's just simply because Wonka's very digestible. And Oppenheimer was like obviously way, way better of a film than Wonka. I guess when I give star ratings though, I'm not afraid to accept this is just my opinion out of enjoyableness. And Oppenheimer's got like great scenes I really enjoy. Like obviously the scene where he's in front of the people and he's like being like, yes, we've won it and we'll drop an even bigger bomb on their head too and stuff, but he's seeing craziness, he's just trying to say the right things. And the scene where he's like being interrogated and the fucking lights go in and the guy's shouting in his face, it's kind of a meme now, that scene. When the bomb goes off, that's a pretty cool scene. There's a bunch of like really cool scenes and really cool moments. I was watching for Cillian Murphy because I really like Cillian Murphy as an actor and I like the film. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and go the last hour of the film when they're doing the courtroom stuff, I was really that interested or knew what the fuck was going on. Not because it wasn't told in a digestible way, just because I don't know what's happening and I can't keep up with it. And it's like, would I really rewatch it? No. But is it 10 times better than Wonka? Yeah. But just out of like watching it and if I'd watch it again, which I really don't do, even for films I really do like, I'm just like, yeah, Wonka will get a 3 star. I'm taking all like actual quality of the film out of it. I'm just giving it my own rating. That's all anyone can do. That's all anyone should. So Barbie, gave that a 4 star. Is Barbie a better film than Oppenheimer? I don't think so. I think Oppenheimer's a lot better than Barbie, actually. I think it's a lot better film. But I think I was pleasantly surprised by Barbie because it was very easy for the jokes to not be that great. And it's like, I'm not like one of these people who like loves Will Ferrell and stuff. Anything Will Ferrell does, I'll lick the shit off his feet. I don't know why there'd be shit on his feet. But if there was, I'm not like that or that way inclined. But I like him in Elf, and it kind of has an elfish kind of performance here. And I watched kind of people react to it, and they kind of found Will Ferrell unfunny. Found the shtick unfunny or whatever. But I think it's just because, again, it's like the tone. If you set up the right tone, you can get away with jokes that are like maybe not even that. Well, jokes that are like essentially like poo poo fart fart type stuff. If the tone's right and the vibe's right and they've got you in good spirits, it's like, oh, that's cute and enjoyable, I like it type thing. Whereas some people, they won't ride the wave. They'll still watch it and be like, that's not very well written. Poop jokes, lost me or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, that's that. Across the Spider-Verse, 4 star. I hate the star ratings. I wish it was like I could just. I'm not gonna make an Excel document anymore and like list everything, give it like a 7.8. I prefer doing things that way. But if I gotta stick with the stars, it just makes it more annoying because when I have to compare films and I see Barbie's on a 4, Across Spider-Verse is on a 4. It's like it just gets like I don't like comparing my ratings to the other ratings. They should be very individual. I saw May December, which I know stands at like a sore thumb in this lineup so far. But I saw that, gave it 2.5. Not because it was bad, but just because it was like it was a film that was kind of just happening and was like disturbing and like kind of interesting. But I didn't always really know what I was meant to be thinking or what they was trying to tell me in certain moments. I was watching it to see, you know, ex Riverdale, see what he had in his locker, and the acting bag was the main reason. And yeah, saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, gave that a 4 star, and then saw Ant-Man Quantumania, gave that a 1 star. So to be fair, 4 superhero films, I think 2 of them, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Verse were really good. Quantumania, shite, and then Captain Marvel, not so great. But that was 2023. I don't think most people could talk about every film they saw. I mean, people could, but people with Letterboxd accounts, I think typically it would be unlikely, almost impossible for most people with a Letterboxd account, because you're kind of admitting to be a certain type of person if you have one, because you're only really going to get one if you're watching bare films and you're like bare into it. Would be able to list all the films they saw in 1 year in about 5 minutes. But there you go. That was 2023. It wasn't a great year, and so far 2024 is about to be worse, because if we keep tracking at this pace, if we say we're a quarter of the way through the year, then we're going to see 4 films this year. That's not good enough, okay? But more films do come out around sort of summer and the end of the year, so it will pick up. I'm sure for this year as well. A lot of these, by this time last year, I probably saw none if I'm looking at some of these films when they came out, so it's fine. 2022 as a year, 17. So what's that? 70% better than the year before. I'm not good at maths. It's just that when you're going from 10 to 17, it makes things very easy. That might not even be right. So let me stop. But I mean, one of here is the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which I gave half a star. I didn't even finish it. Wasted my time. Don't shovel me shite. And this is what Marvel try and do a lot of the time. I'm not happy they've slowed down. Just shoveling out shite. Just like gobble it up, eat it. Like coal into the furnace. And it's like, and I had to just shut my mouth and say no. I didn't even finish it, half a star. Don't give me that crap. It literally looks like we just turned the studio lights on, filmed it, and then straight uploaded it. Didn't like pull it through no type of like grading. I was just not like, I'm not, no. Wakanda Forever's in here. Gave that 3.5 star. Some people, that's a very hot and cold movie for people. Banshees of Inisherin, gave it a 2.5 star. I'm just like, people laud that film like literally a freaking day for the, what's the word they were saying that? Feck. But I mean, I said in that as if they don't just say it in life. But yeah, I don't know. It just came across that there's like films that get nominated for Oscars that you're watching, you're like, oh no, that actually just is quite good. It's a good film if you give your time to it. And there's other films that get nominated for Oscars that you go, yeah, you got to be into films in a certain way or like a certain style of film to like these types. And this was like that type. Not that it was pretentious or anything, but just that it was just one of these films where people like love it, but it's just so, I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't want to be his friend anymore, and I guess that's kind of cute for a storyline to be that simple. And and then he chops his fingers off, and the thing is, like, people watch some of these films like Banshees and they go, "That film was hilarious." Didn't laugh once. Didn't even raise the side of my mouth. Yeah, you know what I mean. And those types of people who say this film's hilarious weren't like Will Ferrell and what he's doing in Barbie. Let's just say that. Don't Worry, Darling, 2 stars, of course. Bones and All. Did see that in the cinema, actually. Which I think I did. Did I see Don't Worry, Darling in the cinema? I think I might have. Because I remember walking home angry. I think I saw all of these in the cinema so far, obviously, apart from the special. Bones and All, Timothy Chalamet, Taylor Russell. Very much liked it. I like Guadagnino as a director. But when I see Challengers come out, the trailer, I'm just watching that trailer thinking that don't look like it's going to be great. If I had to guess its Letterboxd rating, I'm thinking like a 3.1, which is like the same rating Ghostbusters Afterlife is on right now, on average. So like, I don't look that promising. And this is the thing, that's why I don't have a favourite directors, because every director is hot and cold for me. It's like, there'll be a director sure that has a movie I really like of theirs. But then I look through I always say discography. I look through their filmography, their catalogue, whatever, and there's always a bunch of films in there where I'm just like, I haven't seen it, I don't really want to see it, or I didn't fuck with that. There is no director I've came across yet who just has 8, like most of their films I just watch them, like I love them. But I really liked Bones and All. Not really interested in anything he's got coming out next or soon. But I did really like Bones and All, which is weird because like it doesn't typically end in a way. I'm allowed to spoil these. It doesn't end in a way that would usually be satisfying for me. It was a weird walk home. I walked to the cinema to see this one. It wasn't playing in my usual. And I don't know. Yeah, it was weird. It was disturbing, but it wasn't like jump scary or anything. But then again, I'm not one of these people who watches like I don't know, people eating people. Obviously, it's gross and like don't do that in real life. But it's a film. Like I'm not gonna watch someone eat someone in a film and be like, People are so like they watch it like, oh my god, it was so revolting. I couldn't even watch it. Like I felt sick at times. Like I'm not the type of person where if I'm eating chocolate cake and you start talking about diarrhea, it's gonna put me off my food. I don't think my brain works in that way. Like I can separate that what I'm eating now isn't diarrhea. It's still cake. Whereas I remember my sister. I could say just the word like throw up while she was eating, and then oh I can't type thing. So like yeah, I was watching it like okay, eating people. Like I fully got on board with the concept. Like I was never watching it like this is so absurd and so weird. Like what's the crazy weird part is when she has to eat him, I guess. But for the most part, it was more like interesting. Like fuck, like, to me this wasn't any different as any other like not dystopian's the right word, but any like other like weird kind of concept film when you go, oh that's interesting. Imagine if life was like that, that'd be crazy. And it's like this was just like that, like oh people could eat people, but it's like a bad thing, and you don't even necessarily want to be doing it, but it's just the urge and you have to do it, and you got to battle with like when they're in the field and they're arguing, and he's like, what choice do we have? It's either eat or like fucking kill yourself or be eaten or whatever. Like I can't remember what he said word for word. Very much enjoyed the film though. Never rewatched it since. Probably never will rewatch it again. But for how I watched it at the time, I just was like, this is so like weird, and it had like a cool kind of vibe to it. And I'll never rewatch it again. It's crazy. It's like you meet people in life. You get on really well with them. Who else went to like caravan park holidays when they was a kid, And it's like you meet friends there, you make friends, you might get on really well with them. You're like 8-year-old, you're just there. You never see them again. You'll never talk to them ever again. Same with certain jobs or like little things. Like you meet people, get on really well or whatever. You're having great banter, great 7-year-old banter. I was teaching him swear words, racist ones that I shouldn't have been doing. But I was a child and I just wanted to make friends, and it seemed the best way to make friends was teaching people swear words. And then he would shout them out, slurs, for lack of a better term. And it didn't seem that bad at the time, but thinking back, probably shouldn't have been spreading that. But I was 8. But back then that was like, wow, we're creating peak sort of humor here. When really now I'm thinking about it, I might have spawned like a racist or something in that moment. The butterfly effect is a real thing, but you meet people basically you never see them ever again. I'm very much like that with films. I could watch something, I'm like, wow, I really like that. That really spoke to me right now, and like a specific thing to me. And I just love performances and the whole vibe and the aesthetic. It's just like and the score just maybe really hit me in a certain way, and I was just like thinking about it, humming it that way. And just I'll never be like, I want to watch it again. Just not. It's just not in my. It's just not. I'm just not that way inclined. We got White Noise here, Adam Driver. That was an enjoyable little flick. Some people, everything's got to be a masterpiece. What is this from Bombag? It's a bit crazy. It's a bit weird. Not everything has to be a masterpiece. People are like that with Don't Look Up as well. It's like, not everything has to be the most. What's the other? He has a lot of films. And not Anthony Mackie. That's the black guy with a gap tooth. That's Falcon Boy. Adam McKay. It's got to be... What's the one? It's got Gosling in it. You know what I'm talking about already if you're a film bro. It's like, yeah, that's good. I do enjoy that, but not every film has to be that. You can have a little bit more fun, a little bit more of a goofy time in some films. But that's not in this year's. Thor Love and Thunder, we spoke about that. My disdain for that. This was quite a good year, to be fair. Triangle of Sadness, like that. After Sun, really like that. Would never watch it again, those two either, but I liked them. I give it a 4-star. I really liked Chip and Dale. I was just like, went into it like, I want something to watch, I'll put this on. I was just like, yeah, this is just doing this style of movie really well. I like it. Top Gun Maverick, yeah, Multiverse of Madness, but still wasn't bad. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Turning Red was a decent enough Pixar film. To me, it was kind of mid, but it was like, at the time I watched, it was enjoyable. Uncharted. When You Finish Saving the World, that came out this year, but I only actually watched that 2023, I think. And then The Batman. Again, really like the aesthetic and the vibes of that. I'm way more excited to see The Batman 2 if they ever make that than seeing like The Joker 2, which, will probably do better, unfortunately. 2021, 16 films. This the Don't Look Up year, which is crazy. Because in this year, everyone looks at this year, the Oscars, as being a really bad year for films. Must have been one of the worst Oscar lineups in the past decade we've had. And they always refer to this year. And they always refer to the year we just had with Sally the Snow and all the other films that came out this year. I can't even remember any of them. Being like a really good year. Barbie, Oppenheimer, all that. And aside from Barbie and Oppenheimer, I didn't really see any of the films. And it's crazy because for me, it's the flipped reversal. Didn't care about most of the films that were like nominated for this year's Oscars. Didn't really care. But the lineup for the year everyone calls the worst ones was actually the year where I enjoyed a lot of the films. But yeah, we got No Way Home in here. We got Don't Look Up. Enjoyed both of those. We got Tick Tick Boom. Enjoyed that. Eternals. It's fine. Encanto. It's fine to me. Sorry, I should do an ep on Encanto definitely because that fits the criteria of film I don't like. Recommend it because I know a lot of people like it. No Time to Die was decent enough. Dune, I like it. Come on, I like it. King Richard, that was decent enough. Ghostbusters, it's a film. Shang-Chi, it's a film. There I said it, hot take. Said it at the time. Shang-Chi is not all that. It's the first film they tried with the choreography, and they never tried again, which is just crazy. They're allowed to just, we're going to do something good for once. Oh, everyone likes it. Everyone sees the film and everyone likes it. And guess what? We're never going to really bother doing it again. But aside from that, it's just a bland Marvel film with the same kind of nonsense, forced storyline things to make shit happen and cringe dialogue as all the other recent ones. But what it has is an all-Asian cast, which is exciting. And fresh, and the same way how people got excited for Black Panther when that film came out in a cultural kind of way, that this film was doing a similar type of thing, and also having like sort of Asian influenced, like I don't know all the technical words, what kind of fighting is and stuff, and the choreography being good. People liked that, but the actual film, obviously, I wasn't coming into it with that mindset. I was just watching it as a film. There's a lot of people who watch Black Panther who were like, actually, it's kind of mid. You know, it's the same thing. French Dispatch. Okay, that was probably the one film in here that I actually really don't like out of the films I saw. But then Black Widow, I actually think it's fine. It's let down by the third act and probably the second half of the second middle act, whatever. Really strong 30 minutes, I'll say that. Luca, it's a picturesque, fun little time. And Cherry, it's a bit of a mess. But, you know, good year. 2021 was a good year. Look, 16 films, it's still not a lot. It's not where we want to be. But it's not... Look, the quality of films, I really enjoyed them. Is it worth going back to 2020? That's as far back as we'll go today. And we'll see if it's worth going back this far. Well, apparently I saw 2 films in 2020. I don't know or think that's possible. There must have at least have been Marvel films, because there isn't a single Marvel... 2020? No. There must have been... All I have in here is Soul and The Devil All the Time. I don't even want to click on 2019. Maybe we'll do a part 2 and we'll go even further back. But that's bad. That's bad. Onwards and upwards 2024, though. There are some films I want to see. I want to see that Blitz film. World War, whichever one the Blitz was. Saoirse Ronan. Don't even know why I want to see it. Just because... Don't know. I just want to see London get bombed up, maybe. Don't know. Call me a fucking whatever. What else was on my list of shit I wanted to see? I don't know. I wrote it down somewhere, but it's not on me right now. I want to see that Francis Ford Coppola film that's going to be an absolute mess with Shia LaBeouf, Adam Driver, because they're two of my... they're up there for actors for me. And there's other people in it as well. Everyone's in that one, apparently, and it just looks like it's going to be this... I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be like... Worst case scenario, it could actually just genuinely be bad. But, like, I think maybe best case scenario or, like... Because I don't think it's going to be a masterpiece, best case scenario. Maybe best case scenario, it's like Babylon, where it's just crazy and then he gets put in director's jail for making this crazy, weird, absurd film. But, like, some people just fucking love it. Never saw Babylon. Again, that was the film, but just never ended up seeing it. Anyway, this was a bit of a weird one, but, yeah, that's fine. If you didn't use daily, that's going to happen. Probably 300 and I don't know, 71 maybe? 72. See you tomorrow.